Have you ever worked your butt off for years to build something, to create something, only to decide after you built it that you don't want to do it anymore? Well, that's what happened with me in our van life journey. And I want to be clear about something. It's not that I don't love van life, because I totally do. But after spending years building and years traveling, along the way, I've grown into a new person. I'm a completely different person now. And that new person now has a new plan, a new set of goals, which I want to share with you in this video. So make sure you watch to the end, because I'm going to explain what's happening with this channel. And it is, yes, going to be taking a bit of a turn. But before we do that, in this video, I want to give you some insights about the truths of van life. I'm going to tell you what to expect if you're planning on doing van life, caution you for some potential pitfalls if you decide to start this life, and tell you the change in course that we've made and what we've decided to do instead, and why specifically we decided to do this. This isn't a video about the hardships of finding a toilet. This is so much deeper than that. This is a lived experience of a choice that we've made that had changed our lives for the better in some ways and for the worse in others. So I broke down this video into 3 sections to best illustrate these ideas. The first section, which is what I call before van life. The second section, which is van life. And the third section, which is after van life. This is so you can understand where these truths show up in the timeline of our entire van life experience. So let's start way back to the beginning. Building the van is such an amazing experience. If you're like me and you don't have a ton of experience building, then learning how to install electrical, plumbing, flooring, insulation, and everything else that is required to finish a van is a hugely fulfilling task.
Oh,
What you learn and create pushes you past what you could have ever imagined. And when you have this finished product that becomes your travel home, it's the most rewarding feeling that I've ever had in my life, honestly. It took us about 18 months to complete the van, and we worked on it every free moment that we had. So it was a very, very, very busy full year and a half. I admit that it kind of sucked to have to spend so much time and energy on a single project, because I couldn't focus my energy on other things that I wanted to learn, like playing guitar, improving my Spanish, learning new AI tools, and spending time with my friends and my family. It really took all of my energy to build our bit, which meant that I had very little energy for other things. I have no regrets, but it's something to consider, and that's why I'm telling you this. When you are setting out to convert a van into a home, it isn't a weekend project. You have a finite amount of time in your life to allocate to projects that you're interested in. So understand that you are going to sacrifice some projects for this one. Building a van comes with so many challenges, which we overcame, and I promise you will too. But one thing you can't overcome is the time that you miss out on doing all those other amazing things in life. All right, now the adventure begins. We're in van life. It is a completely new experience. You're on the road, exploring new places, eating new foods, and meeting new people. It really is a 24/7 adventure. You are constantly out of your element, but in your element at the same time, because you're in your van. So it's like this incredibly bizarre, unique feeling. Being home while being away from home. It's just something you have to experience to understand. I absolutely love it. What I hadn't considered before van life was that a 24-hour adventure, well, that's a full-time thing. It's hard to have van life balance when you're living in a van. So we worked full time in the van. So on the weekends, we went out to explore our environments, our surroundings, check out the area. We went on tours. We went to beaches, on hikes, and went to random derbies and museums. We were always on a trip. And when you're on a trip, you do trip activities, which again means that you're not working toward the goals that you have in life, like learning Spanish, learning guitar, becoming a better writer, exploring other hobbies. All of that just gets put on the back burner. Now, I understand this isn't that way for everyone, but for us, working full time and doing van life full time is a lot to do. And adding other things to do on top of that for us became impossible. I think the hardest part for me became the fact that I've been interested in leaving my job and starting my own business, which I'll tell you about at the end of this video. taking the time to focus on what is required to build a business has been challenging. And over time, it has become frustrating. It was frustrating mainly because I had chosen van life, not realizing that I would have to sacrifice some of the other things that I wanted to do. I thought van life would give us freedom, which it has in many ways, but it is now one thing that we spend all of our time and attention doing. Well, this chapter is full of mixed emotions. If you haven't picked up on this by now, we just sold the van. After 4 years, we finally decided to hand keys over to another awesome guy so he could go on his own amazing life adventure. This is bittersweet, and let me tell you why. Our last stop in the van was in Mexico. We came across this beautiful town that we fell in love with, and we decided to put down some roots here. We bought a piece of property not too far from the ocean, which was beautiful, and we started designing a small home to build. And of course, like we love the ocean, we love the community here, we love so much about this place. But a big motivator for us to stay here was that we just wanted to focus on other things besides van life. We have all these goals that we have been putting on the back burner, and this gives us that stability and time and energy to allocate toward those goals. In all honesty, those goals have become more important than anything, and they've taken center stage in my mind all the time, every day. I think about those things versus going on adventures in the van. Now, we have since been figuring out how to buy property in a foreign country, learn how to design and build a small house in another country, and everything else related to what this entails. And truth be told, as I'm saying this, I'm smiling, I haven't had as much time to focus on my other goals as I was hoping. It was almost like I left one project to start another. But the good news is that the small house that we're building will be finished in just the next few months. So when it's finished, we'll be able to get fully grounded and really set off on this new adventure of entrepreneurship. All right, so what is happening with this channel? This channel is going to change topics. It's going to be all about my main passion, which is how to become a better speaker. My career for a long time has been coaching public speaking. I have over a decade of experience teaching people how to articulate, and I want to share everything I know with as many people as possible. So this is something that I'd like you to be a part of, and I would be so happy if you join me on this journey. So if you want to learn how to become a better speaker, you want to learn how to talk on camera, how to present, then this will be the channel for you. I hope you stick around. I've absolutely loved having you all in our community. I love what we've done together. It means so, so, so much to me. So I look forward to what we have in store for us in the future. And thank you for sticking around. All right. Talk to you soon.